Welcome back to Pain Media. I hope this video was helpful, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That way, you'll be notified of future uploads. And don't forget to share your thoughts on this video and others down in the comment section.
A message was sent to me late last night by a viewer. They had expressed to me that they themselves were sexually abused when they were younger. Now, the question that they had asked is, how does sexual abuse affect most people? Now, a question like this virtually has no exact answer. Now, no two people are alike, and we know this. One person may have access to resources such as a clinical psychologist or psychiatrist, or even other healthcare professionals, etc. In some situations, I've even heard victims explain the lack thereof of resources, or even something as simple as family support to navigate through this life-altering, horrific situation. Now, the intricacies surrounding this question and its complexity will be very difficult to explain. As said previous, every situation is different, but I'll try. Also, be aware that I'm not in the healthcare field. I do not have an educational background on anything that I'm speaking about, but I do have an undertaking of knowledge through research, as well as speaking with online predators for over 8 years. Also, before taking on any information that you hear here or anywhere else, please contact an accredited professional for further assistance. And also, remember to fact check. Also, remember that not all answers apply just because the situation seems similar. One thing that is widely known is that child sexual abuse can have infinite consequences on a victim or survivor. Many explain that it can feel like a life sentence. There may be some days where you feel like it's not affecting you, but this is not something that just goes away when it's out of your mind. This is something that has an emotional and psychological consequence that gets embroidered. Scientists have gone as far to say, and I quote, "Children inherit approximately 23,000 genes from their parents, but not every gene does what it's designed to do. Experiences leave a chemical signature on genes that determine whether or how the genes are expressed. Collectively, those are signatures called epigenome. Within those chromosomes, specific segments of genetic code, known as genes, make up long, double-hex strands of DNA. So this is evidence that the things that we go through, whether perceived good, bad, or traumatic, have long-lasting and possibly lifelong effects. Our brains are hardwired to be responsive to experiences and environments, especially during early stages in our lives when we're children. Now, signals are relayed between neurons through external experiences. This response produces proteins. Regulating proteins that head to what is called the nucleus of the neural cell, attaching or repelling enzymes that attach. For example, having had a positive upbringing such as a happy, healthy environment full of good opportunities, or a majority of negative experiences. Now, this can quite possibly alter the chemistries and coding in our genes and our brain cells that can either have a permanent or temporary alteration. This process is called epigenetic modification. But enough with all the science aspect, I think you get the point. Depression is a very common disorder felt by a lot of victims of abuse, as well as sexual abuse. Thoughts of hopelessness, procrastination may linger in an on and off basis, short-term or long-term. Flashbacks and triggers are often associated with childhood sexual abuse. Flashbacks serve as memories of past traumas that may come and go, but have the same sensation. Emotional and physical can be felt in the present, even if the sexual abuse is in the past. That means that it is possible to feel the experience of the abuse is happening all over again. During a flashback, it can feel difficult to connect with reality. It may feel like the perpetrator is still physically present. You may feel triggered by an environment or a smell or anything that makes a connection to the abuse or abuser. Some other catastrophic situations that more than likely may be affected are behavioral aspects of healthy functioning mental health, interpersonal relationships throughout childhood as well as adulthood. Physical and mental health and overall development may also be affected. I hope this video was helpful in any sort of way, even just to begin the discussion. Like I've said many times, I understand this topic is a very difficult one to have, but in order to prevent it or bring any sort of closure, however that may look to somebody, it's important to have this discussion. Feel free to comment down in the comment section or email me any questions you may have, and I will do my best to answer them. But always check with accredited professionals before relying on any information that you hear here or anywhere else. I'm Justin Payne. This is Pain Media. Thank you for joining me.